the basic formula for any prism, and a prism has a top base and a bottom base. Top base, bottom base. Here is, on this one, if I turned it, they have two parallel bases. Those are the bases, the parallel sides. So top base, bottom base, side base, left base, right base. Right. So the basic formula is volume equals B times H, which means that big B is the base area. So you have to change that for the formula of that particular shape. For example, on number 1, what is the shape of the base? A rectangle. So what is the formula for the area of a rectangle? Length times width. So if you have a rectangular prism, that final formula would be, you would change that big B for length times width and then times the height. So this is always interchanged. So I'm going to put that formula down again. This is for a rectangular prism. Okay. And then I have a triangular prism. So again, you start with the basic formula, and then you have to trade that big B in for the shape, for the formula. Unless they give you the base area all done together, you have to change that to the formula for the, what is the shape of this base? A triangle. So you need to change it to the area of a triangle is base times height of that triangle divided by 2. So I've got to trade this in for base times height divided by 2, then times the height of the whole prism. And you're going to have one on the back side. Okay, so let me flip this over. So, oh, this is surface area. Darn, I ran off the wrong one. So I'll have to rerun off something else because this is not the one that I wanted to do. All right, so let's go ahead and look at, hold on, so let me look what the time is.
So for the triangle, you multiply it base times height and then divide by 2 and then multiply
Yes.
height again?
Yeah, and so on this one, let's look at the number 1. Yeah, I have to get another worksheet because I thought this was, we need to know how to do it on this one too. In fact, it says find surface area, but I'm going to change it. We're going to find the volume. I'm just going to use this. And so the examples that I do on this side, then you can apply to the other side. So this is going to be volume. Again, volume is equal to base area times the height. So let's look at this one right here. And in fact, if we're doing this, I'm going to do one more formula, and that is of a pyramid. So a pyramid, and you should be writing these formulas down. A how do I spell that? Pyramid. Okay. The volume for a pyramid is, volume is equal to, do you think that this volume is going to be the same as a triangular prism volume? No, if it had the same height, it still wouldn't be, because this one is a full prism. This one is part of a prism cut off. The formula for the prism is your base times height divided by 3, or sometimes you will see it as 1/3 times base times height. So let's go ahead and get started. In fact, so let's do, we're going to do this one, the triangular one, and this one. Okay. So on the number 7, it's a triangular prism. So I need to exchange that B for this. So on the number 7, I want you to put your formula down first. Its volume is equal to base times height divided by 2 of my triangular base times the height of the whole prism. So here is my triangle down here. And this triangle, can you tell what is the base of the triangle? It's of the triangle. Well, in fact, remember this right angle points to the base and the height. So it's going to be a 12. So the volume is equal to 12. And then this height is the height of the triangle. It's not the height of the prism. So I'm still just looking at this. Here's my triangle. What's the height of this triangle? It's 5. Times 5 divided by 2. Then times the height of the whole entire prism. What's the height of this prism?
10.
It's going to be 10.
It's 300.
Okay. So I'm going to put it over 1. Okay. So what can cross out with the 2? 2 and what? The 2 and the 12, and that becomes a 6. So just multiply your numbers that are left. 6 times 5 is 30. And 30 times 10 is what?
300.
Is 300. And that is, what kind of units? That would be cubic units. Cubic units. So we'll do that one again on the number, on the number 9. So it's the same formula. So on the number 9, it is going to be volume. My base area is, what shape is my base on this one? It's a triangle again. So I'm just going to be looking at this triangle and nothing else. So again, the formula is base times height of the triangle divided by 2, then times the height of the whole prism. So look at your triangle right here. What is the base of your triangle?
4 inches.
4 inches. What is the height of this triangle?
3.5.
3.5. So I'm going to put 4 times 3.5 divided by 2. And then times the height of the whole prism. Who thinks they know what the height of the whole prism is? Yeah, if I turned it this way and I stood it up, it's going to be this right here. It is the 5.5 times 5.5. So does that 2 cross off with the 4? Yes. So that goes into that twice. Who knows what 2 times 3.5 is? It's going to be 7. So I've got 7 times 5.5. So 5.5 times 7. And then go over one place. So the volume is equal to, and I'll put it right in here, the volume is equal to 38.5 cubic inches. Because there's a length, there's a width, and there's a height, 3-dimensional. And this one again was, and these answers are not there because those answers are for surface area. Then we'll go straight up. Let's do, we'll do the 4 and the 5. So this is the volume of a cone. So the volume of a, not a cone, the volume of a pyramid is big B times H divided by 3. Again, if I made this go all the way up, it would end up forming a big rectangular prism, but they've shaved like 2/3 off, so it's 1/3 is that, it's 1/3 of a rectangular prism. So the first thing we have to figure out is, what's the shape of this base down here? In this case, it's a square. So I can use length times width for my square times the height of the prism divided by 3. So what is the length and the width of my base?
8.
So 8 times 8. And what's the height of the whole entire prism? Oh, it doesn't give it to me on this one because they don't want you to. The height would be, they should have had, it goes from the middle straight up. And I'm just going to make up a number. I'm going to say it is, since that's 10, I'm going to say this is 9. So that height is 9. And so the height of the whole prism is 9. And then, is there anything I can cancel? The 3 and the 9 is 3. So my answer is 8 times 8, 64 times 3. Which is 3 times 4 is 12. 3 times 6 is 18, 19. So it's 192 cubic units.
We have to put cubic units.
Yes. It's got a length, it's got a width, and it's got a height. 3-dimensional. And then we'll do this one, and I'm going to make that height here. I'm going to make that height a 35. So again, the volume of a pyramid is base times height divided by 3. What is the shape of this base?
A rectangle?
Yeah, a rectangle or a square, doesn't matter. So I'm going to trade this in for length times width and then times the height of my pyramid divided by 3. So what's the length and the width of my base?
30.
So it's going to be 30 times 30 times what's the height of my pyramid?
35.
Times 35 divided by 3. And then can that 3 go into one of the 30s?
Yes.
It's going to go 10 times. And so then we've got 10 times 30 is 300 times 35. Please watch when I'm multiplying by 300. I'm going to put the 300 here, and on the top I'm going to put 35. But what's 0 times anything? 0. And this next 0 times anything is 0. I'm done with my zeros. And then I start with 3 times 5 is 15. 3 times 3 is 9. 10. That's big. So that volume is 10,500 cubic millimeters. Let me see what we have left. Oh, those are going to be simple. All right, so we're going to do one of, let's see, we'll do this one. I'm going to do one of these, and then we're going to be ready to rock and roll on the other side. So, again, the basic formula is volume is base area times the height of the prism. What is the shape of this base? It's a rectangle. What is the formula for a rectangle? Yeah, so we're going to change that to length times width times the height of our prism. What is the length and the width of our base?
4 and 6.
So it's going to be 6 times 4. And then what is the height of our prism?
5.
It is 5. So these are going to be super easy. Who thinks they know what the answer is? Well, 4 times 5 is 20. And what's 20 times 6? 120. So that is 120 cubic centimeters. All right. So that's all we're going to do on this side. Flip it over. So now you should be able to do, like these two here is just like we just did. I'll probably help you with this one because of the decimals. But this is easy. Now these are the pyramids. You don't have to divide by 3. I'll help you with the A and the 2 A's. Okay. So let's start with the first A. So the first A is the volume is base area times height. What's the shape of the base area? What's the shape of the base area? On this A. It's a rectangle. What's the formula for the area of a rectangle? So yeah, length times width. And then we're going to multiply it by the height of the pyramid. So what numbers are we going to plug in? 4.5 times what?
6
Times 6 times the height of the entire prism
times
5.8. And this is going to be kind of ugly, so I'm going to help you with this multiplication. So I'm going to go 58 times 45 without a decimal. And that's going to be 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. Okay. Then I'm going to start with the 4 plus 32. And the decimal really was here and here. Who knows where the decimal is going to go? And Mateo, you should be getting this down. It's going to be between the what? Very good. And then I can drop that 0 at the end. So now I still have to multiply this by what? By the 6. We haven't multiplied by the 6. So I'm going to put 261 times 6. And the decimal really was right here, so it should go right here. And these answers should be here, and I think it is right here. It's right here. So put just the problem letter that it came from. So this is going to be the 156.6 cubic centimeters. We're going to go over to the number, the letter A, the other A. Okay. And what shape is that? It is a prism. And again, it's the same formula over and over on the prisms. Base area times height. But I need to look at this and what's the shape of my base? A triangle. So it has to be base times height divided by 2 times the height of the prism. Can anybody see what the base and the height is on this triangular? Again, the right angle points to it. Yeah, 6.2 and 9.6. And it doesn't matter in which order. So 6.2 times 9.6 divided by 2 times the height of the prism. What's the height of the whole prism?
8.
We're on this one.
12. Oh, sorry.
It's going to be 12. Okay. And I think, let me see what I should do. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to reduce, I could have reduced any of these 3.1. I'm going to reduce the 12. So 2 goes into that 6 times. So now we just have to multiply these numbers together. So I'm going to help you with that. So it's 96 times 62, which is all right, who knows how many places over I should go? 2. But we still need to multiply it by what?
6.
By 6. And then go over 2, and we're going to hope that that answer is there.
Yeah.
Oh, right here. Okay, so it also gets an A. And then I'm going to put that answer right here, 357.12 cubic centimeters. There's one with a decimal, but I think you can do it. Now, what about these two right here? Guess what the formula is for any prism? What is that formula? No, what is the formula for Prism? No, what is the formula for Prism? The basic formula. Base times height. And that stands for the base area. But didn't they already calculate the base area? So guess how easy this is going to be. Multiply your base area times your height. What's your height? 7.5. That's it. What about on this one? In fact, we'll do this letter L. So the letter L, they already gave me the base area, so I don't have to calculate anything. So that is going to be 19.7 times, and set it up in your formula pattern, times 4.3. And then let's go over and go 197 times 43. That's 36, 38. What is that? Is that 14? 6 and 8, yeah. And my decimal was here and here, so it's got to go over 2 places. And is that answer there? Yes. So 84.71 square centimeters. And I think the rest of the numbers should be easy to work with. What's that? Oh, cube, thank you. That's Candy. And so that gets the letter 87 right here. It gets the letter L. Okay? So you guys have the rest to do. Let's see how much time you have.
On this page?
Yes, of just the side.
Are we going to be able to work on our test?
Let me see how much time. I know somebody, by the way, if there's an arrangement, and Mateo, I'm sorry, is Abhinav, you really need to listen. If I'm doing something and it has to be arranged in a certain way. If I have an arrangement of 5 jars, okay, and I want to see how many different arrangements or orders I can make. Who knows what you need to do?
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, it's A jar, B jar, C jar, D jar, E. Once I've put A as the first one, then I've only got 4 left. Once I've picked C, I've only got 1, 2, 3 left. Once I picked E, I've only got 2 left, and so on. Yes, it is that type. And so I'm going to get that out. Go ahead and work on this, and I'll pull your test out and see how much we have to do. Yes, ma'am.